What is going on, everyone? Today I have the 2019 Mazda 3 Hatchback, and I've got 5 likes and 5 dislikes coming at you right now. Before I start this thing off, I want you to know I've been able to spend 1 week with it as a press car. I have a full review in the description down below with all the details and stuff, but in no particular order, starting with my dislikes. My dislike number 1 is the fact that a manual transmission is now only available on the premium package for the hatchback. It's not even available on the sedan, and you can't get it on lower trims. So for those of you that want a manual transmission, you gotta spend the extra money to get there with this premium package. Otherwise, it's the 6-speed automatic. And another thing, you can't get the manual transmission with all-wheel drive. It's just front-wheel drive premium package. My dislike number 2 is the fact that the miles per gallon is not very good. Now, the thing about it is that this is a strong base engine, so you have good power. So it's not like you've got a wimpy engine like some other cars in the class that give you good efficiency. However, this competes with cars in that class, like even all-wheel drive. So the all-wheel drive model that I have right here for this hatchback gets 32 on the highway, not in the city, on the highway. If you look at another all-wheel drive like the Subaru Impreza, that gets like 4 miles per gallon better. Granted, it doesn't have as much power as this does, but still, like a Honda Civic, I think it's maybe 42 miles per gallon. The Corolla Hatch, 38 to 40-ish or something like that. So it's definitely quite a bit below that, but it's a different type of vehicle, so you got to consider that. My dislike number 3 is that I've experienced hesitation and a little bit of jerkiness at some low RPMs in the first couple of gears. So going from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, if I'm kind of just coasting and I have to get on it just a little bit, there's a little bit of like, it almost kind of feels a little dual clutchy at times. And I was so curious about that because I hadn't experienced that ever in a Mazda before with this usually smooth 6-speed automatic transmission. And I looked at some of the forums because I was curious if anybody else did, and people were talking about it. So if you've had that problem, hopefully it's maybe a software type of thing, something easy to fix. Comment down below if you've experienced that, but the hesitation is something that I have not liked. My dislike number 4, now this is something that I don't know if I've heard anybody talk about. I haven't watched a ton of Mazda 3 videos yet, but the air vents in here look nice. They look great. I like the placement for the hands. If you've got cold or hot coming out, it kind of blows right on your hands, but it doesn't really, the AC has struggled. So a lot of the times, I'm in Texas right now in June, and it hasn't been that hot yet. It's been maybe 90, about 90 for a high each day, which is not as hot as it usually gets. And I've had a backseat passenger, and we're all just like suffering because it's not cooling off that well, and the automatic AC has kept the fan speed like super high, and there's not a real good way to get AC back to the passengers. There's no vents in the back seat, which I don't expect for this class, but you can't really point these vents back that way very well. And even with my hands on the steering wheel, it's like I'm blocking the air to myself. And the vents on the passenger side are underneath of the ledge, which looks nice, but they just don't perform all that well. So that's a disappointment. My dislike number 5 is that some features are not standard at this price point, and they're only available as an accessory. So for example, remote start. That's one thing. I always complain about that. I like how some people give you remote start at a low price point, but not with Mazda. You need it as an accessory. Navigation as well. That's not even included with the premium package. It's an accessory. The frameless auto dimming rearview mirror and garage controls. I would expect maybe garage controls or the auto dimming mirror, but those are accessory options as well. Another thing is there's no ventilated seats at all, which I don't necessarily expect it, but if Mazda's going for that premium thing that they are offering, I think ventilated seats would be nice. And then another thing is I really enjoyed on the last 2018 Mazda 3 was a heated steering wheel. There's no more heated steering wheel. They took it away. Now, obviously, those are some pretty petty dislikes, and now it's time for my likes. I hope you guys like these even more. My like number 1 in no particular order is the premium feel that Mazda has given us. This interior is so nice. It feels like it's just on another level, a whole nother class. The red leather that we have on this premium package with the hatchback is great. Everything looks nice. Everything feels nice. the layout of everything is like a luxury vehicle, honestly. The outside LED headlights and taillights, they look premium. That's another thing. There's just so much that is premium about this car that I wouldn't expect in this class. My like number 2 is the switch gear all around. The steering wheel, the AC controls, the command controller knob, they all feel much more solid. There's hardly any wiggle to them. They have a nice finish to them. This is kind of part of number 1 with the premium feel, but everything feels more solid. It just feels like it's put together better. And I think the layout, even though I think it could be better for space, of having the cup holders in front of the shifter and controller knob are better than when they were behind, because they could get in the way with the manual transmission, or they would get in the way of you using your controller knob. Now they just get in the way of the storage area. My like number 3, and quite possibly my favorite like of this car, is the fact that now we have all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive. So that is fantastic. For those of you in the northern climate, it just makes all the difference. And don't even tell me that you don't need it, because if you live in areas with hills and ice and snow regularly for like 6 months, you need it. I grew up in the north. I had a 4x4 all-wheel drive and an automatic mode in that, and it made all the difference. And I know a truck is totally different. Front-wheel drive is better, but still, all-wheel drive, fantastic. It's available, but you can't get it with the manual transmission. My like number 4 is that Mazda went way above and beyond of making this thing quieter, less vibration, the noise, so much better than the previous generation. They went into detail about how they were going to keep this car quiet, and they did a fantastic job. My decibel rating on the interstate was going 70, was below 70 decibels, which is fantastic. My like number 5 is that there's just a lot of standard features on here, some things that I wouldn't expect, like the 8.8-inch screen and 8 speakers that can still be upgraded to a Bose sound system, a smart key with push-button start, the driver assist features, the automatic braking, the lane keep assist, all of that sort of stuff. LED head and taillights are standard on every model, a strong base engine on every model, dual zone climate control on every model, and then the base model for this hatch doesn't have cloth seats. It actually has leatherette, so it still has a little bit more of a premium feel. And those standard features that I was listing off are for the hatch. I will do a sedan video later on. But those are my 5 likes and 5 dislikes for you guys. I hope you like them. If you disagree, please let me know down below. If there's something that you should add, let me know down below. And if you want to see the full video with all the detail of this car and a test drive, click in the description down below as well. Subscribe for regular weekly videos like this, short videos like this, and long full reviews. Thank y'all so much, and have a great rest of your day.